What's happening YouTube? Thank you very much for clicking on this video. So with the last one, last review that I done, it was on Scrapper, and this one, as you can see, is going to be on Bonecrusher. Now, this figure, how to explain this figure? It exists, obviously. What I mean by that is that it's not perfect, unfortunately. No, it's a step up from what I've seen of the Combiner Wars Scrapper, or sorry, not Scrapper, Bonecrusher. But it's not too good. So let me explain why, and by that I mean we'll get into having a proper look at it. So first off, right off the bat, the coloration, no problems there. This is exactly how he's meant to look. This is exactly how he looks in the cartoon, so I've no issue with the coloration there. He does have this big black bit sticking out of his back, which we'll get into that later on. He only comes with two accessories. One, his little blaster here, which is quite snug in his hand, and it's just made out of kind of like a dark charcoal plastic. It's not completely black, but it's dark charcoal is the best way I can describe it. And then he also comes with this piece, which is packed separately in the box. You can see here it just slots on over this T-tab right there, and it's for combined mode. Now, one of my first issues with him is going to be complete and total lack of wrist swivels. Now, I can kind of understand why, but it's going to be panel liney anyway, so I would not have minded a slot, or not a slot, a slit going down here, so you could actually get some wrist swivel, wrist articulation. But instead they elected to mold it as one piece. It was a choice that was made. Okay. Second one for me is got to be the placement of his arms. As you can see here, they are way back behind his head when the arms should be in line with the head at least. So it gives him an off look for me. And then of course the head itself, limited articulation. Does have full range of motion with the head, which is good, but he has no waist articulation, except he does. And what I mean by that is that if you disconnect his chest piece here, that's where the waist articulation comes in, but only one direction. So it will turn this way, but it won't turn the other way, at least on my copy, and I don't want to force it in case it breaks. And again, not good. But with this down, he does then get ab crunch, which is kind of pointless considering that when you have this transformed properly, which you have this tab here that goes into that slot right there, locks that in place, and that's it. So that ab crunch and waist articulation is null and void straight away. Now, he may look like he has no knees, but he does, but for some reason they're on this tab right here. Don't know how well you can see it, but right there, and it clicks, as you can hear, into his lower leg. So his knees are constantly just locked, and as soon as you undo that lock, he's left with a constant bent leg. So that's again a choice that was made. And why that choice was made, I don't know, because for combined mode, the legs are not, or the knees locking into place like that is not essential. So again, the choices were made. So for the rest of his articulation, the arms can do a full 360 on a ball joint. They can go out that far, and if you undo the transformation hinge, you can get it to droop down like that, if that's a thing you want to do. And actually, that's another point I have. There is no tab on this whatsoever to hold this in place. So luckily it's not a very tight ball joint here, so it's not, unless you physically pull it down, it's not going to make that piece come down with it. But it's on a very, very soft tube, like very soft. His elbow has 90 degrees range there and is on a ball joint, so you can get full rotation. He has no bicep swivel, and they could have easily put one in there. The waist I've just talked about, nothing at the hands. And then for his legs, again on a ball joint, and a big meaty ball joint there as well. So they can go all the way up. They can go back that far if you angle it out a little bit like that. So he can really kick himself in the back of the head. The knees, as I said, is on that lock, solid tube, and you get 90 degrees or just over 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And then for his feet, they are on a very secure ankle pivot, ankle joint, and it is again, it's something that's a hard tube into place. So again, you can't get many poses out of this ankle just because of how that mechanism works. And then for the feet, sticking with the feet, they can't go up or down, but due to transformation, you do get his toe and ankle to come down like that. Is it a brilliant rendition of Bonecrusher? Unfortunately, no. I would love to say it is, but it has some issues, and like I said, choices were made. Why they were made, I don't know, but choices were made. Now, doesn't mean it's a terrible figure, not at all, but still could have been better. Now, like with Scrapper in my previous review, and actually speaking of, just for a quick comparison, here he is with Scrapper, and they look very well together for me, very well. So that's a definite positive there. Now, for transformation with this guy, it is straightforward enough. It's not overly complicated, and as I was saying, like with Scrapper, you don't get instructions for combine mode with him, but I believe I found out how to transform him into his combine mode. So I will go into alt mode first and then combine mode, just because it's going to be easier that way. So without any further ado, let's get down to transformation. So the first thing you want to do is just bring his bucket forward and bring his head forward like that until it folds all the way in, just like that. You want to come to the midsection here and just pull that forward like this. So you're left with this weird monstrosity shape right now. Collapse his ankle and his toes, his heel and his toes down together like that. And then just bring the bucket up for now to get it out of the way. Bring the canopy around, have it up just like that, and so you can see what I'm doing. And then for his arms, they are done in a somewhat unique way. Now, just trying to remember. Yeah, so with the arms, you do have a transformational joint in here. As you can see, there's a pin right there just above his elbow. So you want to bring his arm around, and you have a tab on the back of his arm right there that is going to go into a slot right here. So bring up at that transformational joint there, and then bring the arm around, and providing you have everything lined up, should tab in just like that. Rinse and repeat on the other side. So rotate around at the ball joint, bring that up, and then bring the arm up the rest of the way. If it doesn't tab in straight away, I find that if you just give it a little push on here, that will help get that arm tabbed into place. So then just bring them around so that they are in this orientation here like that. Let's see, so just to give you the space that you can do, you want to move this out of the way and just rotate his arms in. Now you do have to do a little bit of flexing, especially at this joint here. It's nothing major, but just if you don't like flexing your toys, just to be aware, you're gonna have to. Once your arms are in like that, you have this clip here, which will go into this area right there. Let's bring that up and tab that in. It's quite secure. There we go. Get the head back down. Make sure this stays here. And then for the final touches, come down to the legs. Oh, and actually I never said on his legs, he does have thigh rotation there as well. Sorry, just something worth mentioning. So for the legs, you're gonna have this tab here. That's gonna go into this slot right there. So just bring the legs down on both sides and tab that in nice and securely. And then to finish it off, you just want to get the bucket, fold it down like that, bring it up, and then bring the bucket down. And there you go. Give it a nice squeeze. And there you have Bonecrusher in his vehicle mode. And yeah, that works. Like his robot mode, it had some choices that were made, and I suppose they were made so that they could pull off his vehicle mode, his construction vehicle mode, and it looks good. Like, it looks just like Bonecrusher from the animated series. So take a quick look. There you have the Decepticon symbol front and center, a little bit of purple on the front, and just a couple of bits of silver here and here on both sides. And that's pretty much it for the coloration on this guy. And you don't need any more than that, because that was literally what he looked like in the cartoon. So yeah, I call this a successful iteration of his alt mode. And for me, it works. Now, the only thing, I do have one critique about his alt mode, and it's that he has no rolling wheels of any kind underneath. So he can slide if that's something you want to do, but other than that, he's very much a static piece. And one thing I will say as well is that with the transformation, the robot just disappears. You would not, if you didn't know this was a transformer, you would not think that there was a robot here at all. So yeah, it just disappears. And I do like that. I like that a lot. And for storage on his weapon, you have these two ports up top, and you can plug the weapon in either one. And yeah, it's storage if you want to do that. You also have ports on the side here. I haven't actually tried this, so no, unfortunately those ports are too big. So why that port is there, I don't know. Is it a screw hole? It might be a screw hole. Could be a screw hole. I'm guessing it is. Anyway, enough with the speculation. And on with the speculation. So, like I said, for combined mode, he doesn't have any instructions. And yeah, I know people are just going to say, oh, he sits on the Devastator like that. Yes, you're right. But there's a couple extra steps to get him into his arm mode that you wouldn't have thought. And one of the things you're going to have to do is this. It involves this piece here. This, as you can see, it's not on the other side. So it's obviously something to do with his combined mode. But how? Well, let me show you. So to get him into combined mode, you just separate the threads from this black piece and bring that down. Extend it out all the way. And then over here on this side, no, actually, just give me a, so over on this side, you have this piece that comes down, and then this that angles up. These two tabs here, I don't know how well you can see that, these tabs here will go into these slots down there. Now, when you bring these back together, so the threads will still tab in up here in the same spot as before, and then that locks into there like that. And I'm guessing that in the combined mode, There's a part that's going to be on either long haul or hook that will tab into here to help secure it into place, because obviously this bit here is where he will slot onto Devastator. Just rotate this big piece forwards and there you have it. Devastator's arm minus his hand. And I kind of like that as well, because again, going back to the Combiner Wars Devastator, I remember watching a review from MGO with this, and just by tapping that, this whole panel just fell down, and you had half the arm up here with this hanging down. It was crazy. But this here, this works. And actually, because the bucket isn't in the way, the arm has full 360 rotation and can go out that far. So at least that waist swivel works great as a shoulder swivel. And then of course, bend rotation at the elbow, you have bend at the elbow as well, and obviously the hand for Devastator is going to clip onto this here. So I'll get him back into his alt mode very quickly. Actually, just before I finish with the alt mode, as another point of connection to point out to you, these tabs in here that you fold out, they also connect, again, they connect into this groove right here, and you have this tab on the forearm that goes into this slot right there to just further secure everything in place when he's in his vehicle mode like that there. So there you go. So yeah, is this a definitive Bonecrusher? It's good. Like, it is good. I like it. Is it amazing? No. Is it going to ruin my enjoyment of the figure and of Devastator? Definitely not. Now, if you're going to buy this figure, chances are you're buying this figure because you're going to be collecting all of them to make Devastator. So, is it one of the weakest out of the two so far? Yes, definitely. Is it going to be the weakest out of all of them? Possibly. We just have to wait and see. But still, solid figure. He doesn't feel flimsy. He's a nice thick plastic. When he's in alt mode, he is a brick. Like, you could throw this and it will hurt somebody before it will break. So I'm not saying do that. So yeah, it's a good rendition of Bonecrusher. It's just not the definitive rendition. Anyway, that has been my look at the Studio Series 86 Bonecrusher. And remember, being a nerd is the right of all sentient beings. Peace.